Hey everyone, it's Rajiv and welcome to my channel Rajiv's Reviews, where I post videos about book reviews and other book related topics. In this video, I am going to be giving my review of the new middle grade / young adult adventure fantasy novel called The Camelot Code, The Once and Future Geek by Mari Mancusi. Before I start talking about this book, I want to give a big thank you to the wonderful publishers at Disney Hyperion for giving me an advanced e-copy of this book for my review and feedback. I think they have a wonderful selection of young adult and middle grade books, and I will leave a link to their website below so that you can check them out. Also, I want to state that I am in no way affiliated to the author and the publisher, so my review is solely based on my opinion and how I felt about the book. So here's a brief synopsis of the story. The story mainly starts off with this 12-year-old girl named Sophie, who is a geek at video games, and she is playing this game called The Camelot Code with her best friend Stuart. The video game mainly follows the life of King Arthur and his life at Camelot, and Sophie and Stuart are experienced geekers at this video game. Now, while all this is going on, there is also a parallel story taking place where a young Arthur is playing with his best friend Guinevere, and this is happening in the medieval times right before he pulls the sword from the stone. Now, while they are playing, Guinevere accidentally drops the scabbard into the Well of Wishes, which is this magical well that transports the scabbard into the 21st century. Now, Merlin, the powerful magician who is also training a young Arthur, needs that scabbard, so he somehow contacts Sophie from the 21st century and transports her to the medieval times to help and retrieve the scabbard. So while Sophie and Merlin are planning on how to get the scabbard back, Arthur accidentally jumps into the Well of Wishes and he gets transported into the 21st century. Now, the worst part is when Arthur is in the 21st century, he Googles himself and finds out about his destiny and what is going to happen to him. So he decides to stay in the 21st century and not go back to the medieval times to live his destiny. Thus, he starts altering the fabric of time. As if all that is not enough, the evil Morgana, who is this powerful sorceress, also has a grudge against Arthur, and she wants to get rid of him now that he is no longer under Merlin's protection. So now it is up to Sophie, Stuart, Guinevere, and Stuart's half-brother Lucas to get together and somehow clear all this mess and put everything back together. I know my synopsis did not sound the best, but there's a lot going on in this book and I tried to make it as clear as possible. Okay, so now coming to my review and opinion. I thought this story was amazing. I don't even know where to start on how much I loved reading this book. Every bit of it was just perfect. It is a wonderful light-hearted story where the pacing is so consistent and it just remains fresh throughout. And although it's somewhat a little predictable towards the end, it is so much fun to read. There are just so many things happening to all the characters throughout this book, like Sophie and Arthur time traveling and shape-shifting, and Sophie and her relationship with her mom, and Arthur and Guinevere and Lucas, kind of a love triangle, and Morgana plotting revenge against Arthur, that you are consistently on your toes and you're just waiting to find out what happens next. I also love the format the author uses where she talks about one character in one chapter and ends the chapter in a cliffhanger, and as soon as you turn the page, the next chapter is about another character, so you're still in that suspense mode as to what happened. The story also touches about the history of Arthur and Guinevere and Lancelot, and although I'm kind of aware of the story, I've actually never read the history of King Arthur's life. So after I finished this book, I was so tempted to pick up a history book and just read the life of King Arthur and all his adventures. Mari Mancusi, if you are watching this video, then I have become a fan of yours. Any book that can make me laugh out loud in different pages is an accomplishment by itself. I literally laughed out loud when Sophie realizes that there is no more pepperoni in this world, or when Arthur just attacks those choreographed men in the medieval play. This is the first book that I'm reading by this author and I absolutely loved it. and I cannot wait to pick out her other books to see if they're equally good. I really hope that this is the first in the series because I could not get enough of it. Please, please, please let it be the first in the series. I really want to read more. I think that the Camelot Code is one of those books that anyone from any age group can read and enjoy, and it is actually one of the best books that I've read this year. It is light-hearted, fun, has action, fantasy, adventure, video games, and even history trivia included in it. Overall, I would give this book 10 out of 5 stars because I loved it. This book releases in November 20th, 2018. So if you are a fan of middle grade or young adult fantasy or adventure in a very light-hearted manner, then I would definitely recommend this book to you. Please comment on the section below, as I would love to hear about your thoughts and opinions. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click that bell icon so that you can get notifications on when I post next. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.